It's minor hockey night here at the Igloo, honoring the coaches, volunteers, parents, officials, and the young ones lacing up their skates across the East Hants Minor Hockey Association. I'm Dayton Camo, welcoming you inside the East Hants Sportsplex for a Nova Scotia Senior Hockey League matchup between the 4 and 5 Antigonish Bulldogs and the first place East Hants Penguins. Referees will skate to center ice. We're just about underway. We'll get your goaltenders here in just a moment. For the Antigonish Bulldogs, the former SMU Husky, Justin Samara. And on the other end of the ice, Brian Gillis for your Penguins. Puck is dropped at center and we're underway. This one's won by the Penguins, sent to center ice. It's over to the far side. Across to Thompson. Walks it over the line, chips one into the corner. Spears is in the corner, he'll play it back to the point. Thompson collects that one, he bobbles it. Down low, around, there you go. It's cycled back to the point, a quick shot in, it's bobbled. The net comes off its moorings and that'll be blown dead. We'll get a quick whistle. And then a face-off back to the left of Samara. So like I said, these Penguins coming into this one 8-0-0-1, and the Bulldogs 4-5-0, good for first and third respectively, as the face-off comes back down towards the Bulldog zone. Chipped up the wall, this one just gets out, and now goes cross ice. Chance in front, that one's turned aside. Gillis out to play the puck. He has to quickly get back to the blue paint. A shot goes in, they score! A long shot in from the point. We'll see who leads the flyby on this one. And it's Caleb McPherson looking like he got the stick on it in front. And the Antigonish Bulldogs have taken a 1-0 lead here early in East Hants. Back to center ice will go. Linesman dropping the puck here. It's another face-off win for the Penguins. Now cross ice, they move it. Chipped back up the ice by McDougall. And now the Bulldogs racing in deep once more, trying to get some possession going in the offensive zone. Cross ice pass up the wall. Mishandled there by Daly, and now these Penguins are going to work in with numbers. A shot, and that one's swallowed up right in the breadbasket of Samara. So a good chance for the Penguins to get something going after they give one up. They'll come back down into the offensive zone looking for a face-off draw from Scullion. Bulldogs win the face-off. And a cross-ice pass gets up the wall. Good hip check on the near side. But this one's still in Bulldogs' possession. Now worked up the wall by the Penguins to the line. Now Scullion works this one ahead to Shapford. He tried the toe drag. He was held up at the line, and now back away go the Bulldogs to center. This one unable to get pushed forward. A hand pass going to be called there as Scullion touches up. And some fast-paced hockey to start this one. We'll get a face-off all the way back down in the Penguin zone to the right of Brian Gillis. Cody Grant working in on the draw for the Bulldogs, but it's one back into the Penguins' possession. It's back to the point. They'll regroup here, and a quick pass up ahead for Grant gets tipped in, no icing. And now Gillis will cover that one up. A quick face-off and a quick stoppage of play will get things back together, and the Penguins will get set for a defensive zone draw. This one's one to the wall. Now back down low. The Bulldogs trying to start the cycle. A risky pass to the point. This one's picked off. A shot through the crease. This one gets back to the point. Armstrong trying to keep it in. Pass up intended for Riley Spears, the former Valley Wildcat. Now Spears back up ahead to Regan Spears. Now a chance in tight. Thompson is blockered away by Samara up into the netting. A great chance for the defenseman creeping down up into the hash marks. So back on the draw. It's won there by the Penguins and sent quickly back to the point. A long shot in, bobbled in front off the rebound by Samara. They score! Tyler knows, or excuse me. We'll get you that goal scorer in just a moment. I apologize for that one. It's his face-offs won by the Bulldogs and sent back down into their own end. Trying to work it back across. Now a breakout pass coming. Chip back ahead. This one taken away at the line, and now Bulldogs. Oh, excuse me, folks. I was correct on that goal call. It was Tyler Noseworthy. So Noseworthy evening things up here for the Penguins. With 15 minutes left to go now, here's the Bulldogs circle back around the top of the zone. Thompson now working it up. He's 1-on-3. That one's turned aside. And now a quick breakout pass up the wall. Now the Penguins in possession. They'll try and move one ahead. There's Rude. Back in front. Tries to go back door with that one, but it just rolled off the stick. Now Rude will play one back to the point to Daly. Corrals and sends a snapper through. That one's just wide of the net. And now this one's kept in at the red line by Daly. They'll work it back in. A slap shot into the glove of Samara, and he'll hold up for the whistle. Lots of hockey going on tonight. Just after this one, Canada will take on Slovakia in the quarters. But all eyes stay in East Hants as this quick shot gets swallowed up by Samara again. And we'll get a redo of that face-off. Draw one back to the point. A quick shot off the blocker. Now Kennedy, the skipper, will play a long pass up. Bulldogs working in, but a good play there defensively by Daly. He tried to spring Rude, and now a chance in. They score! What a turn of events. A long pass from Daly intended to spring Rude from the blue line in. Bobbles over the stick. It's off the wall. And just like that, the Penguins have taken a 2-1 lead here at home. Now back away go the Pens. Back into the corner. Picked up by Baldwin. He'll corral this one behind the net. You hear the official goal call. Rude from Daly. Now bobbled in front. Baldwin couldn't pick that one up. He lets it go by him at the point. Scullion's down there collecting this one for the Penguins. Bobbled puck at the line, and now it's kept in, sent back door, and Scullion was there, tripped up. No call on the play, so things will move forward. And now McDougall tries to set one up for the Bulldogs, but it's sent into the corner. And Grant in there, he gets knocked off the puck. Now in front, a chance in, off the post. Now Grant trying to get back on things in the corner. He might need to make his way to the bench, looking gassed out here. Now Armstrong chasing after a dumped in puck in the corner. Sends this one to the front of the net. Net almost knocked off its moorings, but it stays put as Riley Spears picks this one up for the Penguins. Up works Regan Spears. Pass in, shot goes into the breadbasket of Samara, and it's played out of danger. Now back to the point. Spears is going to corral and drive in deep. He's taken down, no penalty on the play. Puck goes back to Pike. Pike walks, sends one, and that one goes off the glass. Thompson corrals it down in the half wall area, but this one is out of play. The referee blows his whistle, and we'll get a face-off down in the Bulldogs zone. So a quick answer by the East Hants Penguins here at home. After going down early 1-0, they work themselves back up into a 2-1 lead. Face off, one into a couple of bodies there. Now Thompson picks it up at the point and goes down low for Spears. Thompson picks it back up as a broken stick from the Penguins will lay there as it goes down the ice. Brian Gillis will send this one up for Thompson, and Thompson dumps it in. Fougere was pinned to the wall down low. Spears tried to send one out front. Gets to Kennedy, and now away go the Bulldogs. Kennedy gets the pass back. He sends a shot in. That one's blocked, but the stick broken by Pike. And now a shot from Baldwin goes up and lands on top of the netting. We'll get a whistle with 11:47 to go. The 50-50 tonight, sitting at $620 so far. Make sure you get your tickets, and maybe you could be a recipient of some of that money tonight. We'll get set for the face-off back down in the Penguin zone to the right of Brian Gillis. Grant works in on the draw. It's played back to the point. Shot goes in. That's blocked in front. That was a ripper coming in from Brian McDougall. Now Daly at the point. Works it back behind his own net. And a long saucer pass. That one intended for Daly, out of his reach. And we'll get an icing call. A face-off back down 200 feet. 11:20 to go here in this first period. If you're looking for some other hockey action on High Button Sports this weekend, the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League Winter Showcase is happening at the Grand Harvey Center all weekend long. So you can catch Daryl Johnstone, Logan Carruthers, and Theo Iatro on the mic over there. The Bulldogs win that draw. It's one back up to center, and away go the Penguins. Got numbers, and that one's worked just offside. So a whistle at the line will blow that one down. Ralph was working in with some speed on the far side and just worked in a little bit ahead of the play. This face-off won by the Penguins. Work back for Armstrong. He'll send one in, gloved by Samara, and he'll elect to hold up for the whistle. We'll get another face-off down here in the Bulldogs zone. Shots are 12-6, so the Penguins doubled up right now in the Bulldogs in the shot department. Now the Penguins trying to work another offensive opportunity out of this offensive zone draw. Armstrong will pick the puck back up at the point. Now worked ahead. Saunders trying to work one in. Drop. That one's hammered on by Bowie, but saved by Gillis. Down the ice we go. It'll be picked up by Blunden. Behind the net, he sends one up the near side, or the far side, excuse me. Corralled by Rude at center ice. And now a hit from Armstrong at the blue line will allow the Penguins to set up with no pressure. This one's sent all the way in by Armstrong. Samara out to play this one for his defenseman. Now Armstrong plays one back in his own zone. He's got a long pass up ahead and a stretch pass the other way for Thompson. That one's intercepted. The Bulldogs working in, and that shot's ripped high over the net. McDonald plays one to center ice, taken away by Thompson. Back into his own zone. Now chipped ahead. This one's down in to the Bulldog zone. Samara out to play it. Back to the point. Thompson. Around for Kennedy. The skipper goes cross ice. That one's out of the reach, and now back come the Penguins. Scullion finds a man up top, drops, and that's a save from Samara. The rebound goes just wide. Now this shot worked around, saved by Samara as well. Gets to the point, and Thompson will keep it in. It goes past him on the second try and picked up down in the Penguin zone. They'll start the breakout here from their own blue. This one's taken away, and the Bulldogs working in with numbers. Pass across for Grant out of his reach. And now the Penguins trying to get a stretch pass to go. This one's turned aside and off the glass, back down in behind Gillis. 8:28 to go as the Penguins set up for an offensive attack here from their own end. Brought in by Schufelt. That one's turned aside. A big hit at the hash marks. Riley Spears on one end of that, along with Kayla McPherson. McPherson picks up the first goal for the Bulldogs as Grant comes in looking for the second. He's brought down. Will it be a penalty shot? Was he in clear? And it will. So Cody Grant to the dot. And Brian Gillis will face the one-on-one attempt here from Grant. Grant works in to the left side and cuts to the middle. He's going to rip one. That one's turned aside by Gillis. And this one stays 2-1. Now a chance away for Spears. He tried to flip one through the 5-hole as Samara. A quick whistle there. And that'll bring us to a timeout. We're back and ready for action here in East Hants. The face-off coming after the first timeout here in the first period. And a face-off to the right of Samara. It's won by the Bulldogs. Saunders sends a high floater. It's picked off by Ralph, and Saunders will send one back down the ice. Will it have enough for the icing? And they say it does. Face off back down to the right of Samara. That one's won by the Bulldogs, and Saunders will corral it one more time. A big hit thrown there by Noseworthy. Now picked up, shot goes in. That one's turned aside by Gillis. Might have went wide. Might have got a piece of the blocker. Now a slap shot is blocked. Gillis will look to cover that one unconventionally a little bit with the blocker. Call it a Dominic Hasek. So the face-off will come back down into the Penguins zone. Worked around. This one's picked up, bobbled, and sent back to the point. Now a chance in front. That one's off the toe of Gillis. Now up ahead, a chance for Rude. Rude working in, drops. Blocker save from Samara. Now Holmes, he's trying to battle that one in there, and the shot goes in. Glove saved by Samara with Holmes right in front of the blue paint. And that'll bring us another face-off. 6:27 to go here in this first frame. Face-off won by the Penguins. This one skips past a couple of Penn's defensemen. Pike will have to race back and grab this one at the point. And now a chance away. Rude's going to get to that puck first, and he attempted to send it to the front. Couldn't go. It's in the corner now. McDougall up the wall. Kennedy will play one ahead. Now McDougall picks that one back up. Pike tried to lay some body on him. McDougall shot over the net, and that one's out of play. 5:56 to go. So the face-off to the left of Gillis. Scully and McPherson on it, and Scully won that one back, rather. Now taken away. Bulldogs working in. That shot turned aside by Gillis right up into the neck area. He's able to squeeze that one and hold on for the whistle. We'll get a redo of that draw. It'll be Scullion and McPherson back at the dot. Face-off one. Picked up by Daly. He sends it to the wall. Now moved ahead to center. Daly trying to pick one back up. Oh, a little hot potato. Teams playing pitch and catch with it at center ice before the Penguins able to corral it back in their own zone. Scullion works one down into the Bulldog zone. Samara out to play it. And Grant plays one cross ice. Pike throws it to center. Good hand-eye there to knock that one out of midair. Saunders taking the bump there from Shafford. And now working this one in. Are the Bulldogs back to Blunden at the point. Off the stick, and that one's out of play. 4:50 to go here from the East Hants Sportsplex. Shots now 18-11 in favor of the Penguins. we'll get the face-off down to the left of Brian Gillis. It's won by the Bulldogs and sent back down into the corner. Kennedy plays one around the wall. Fougere will play one back down. Now Aaron Brown down low. He's trying to find a man backdoor, back to the point. Shot from McDonald goes in. He's going to get the rebound, and that one's through the crease wide of the net. Now Regan Spears, the Port Hood product, sends one down onto Samara, and the former SMU Husky will have to hold on for the whistle. So Spears, and Schufelt out here on the attack for the Penguins. A long explanation from the linesman before that one's kept in at the line twice. And now finally lifted lengthwise for Kennedy, the captain, in front, back door, and that one's out of the reach of Brown. Now back up the ice goes Spears. Looking for a shot back door, but that one's off the pad up into the glove of Justin Samara. Face off to the right of Samara. We'll get a face-off win from the Bulldogs, but Noseworthy in there trying to dig one free. It does. But now up the wall, it's played to center. McPherson working in on the backhand. He'll send one around the net. This one's caught up behind the 4x6, and McPherson able to get possession of it. Now played back around the wall. Picked up by Grant. Grant had the penalty shot earlier, unable to put one past Gillis. This shot from distance goes into the corner. Gillis will corral that one. We'll get a face-off with 3:10 to go. Face off back down to the right of Gillis. Thompson wins that one back to the point for the Bulldogs. And now back up. Rude gets a stick on that one. Linesman says on the wrong side of the red line. So that will be an icing call. Pleading his case there is Alex Rude, but won't go. So back down to the right of Brian Gillis. A wholesale line change coming here for the Bulldogs before this offensive zone draw. A little toe drag in there from Kennedy. Quick shot off the pad. And now Daly. This one goes up through center ice. A high floater. Now Daly will pick one back up at center, trying to drive wide on the long-legged Blunden. He's got to be at least 6'2" out there, taller than me for sure. Daly sends a shot back. That one's blocked in front. Gets all the way back and picked up by Daly once again. He'll go cross ice. Blunden able to pinch off his man in the corner, and Samara bobbled that one in front, sent down the ice by the Bulldogs, and that'll be an icing call on the play. So 2:02 left to go. A 2-1 lead here in the first period for the East Hants Penguins over the Antigonish Bulldogs. A Northumberland Division matchup between first and third here from East Hants, and it's definitely been a good one so far. We'll get the face-off back to the right of Samara. Picked up by Saunders. Drops. Now Blunden goes off the glass. Up ahead, and that one's worked out of Bulldogs possession, but now they re-corral it. Playing pitch and catch one more time with these Bulldogs. Spears will corral it now. It's Regan. Working it around the offensive zone. Spears takes a bump. He'll throw his man to the ice. That was Fougere. Now Thompson comes in for a little aid. Try and push one through. Spears will pick one up. Looking for a man. He goes down low for Thompson. Thompson tried to fire one out front, and he'll elect to work it back out to the point for Pike. Pike back across. Thompson now sends a shot tipped in front, and that one just goes wide off the deflection by Spears. Now last 60, and Schufeld's going to collect a long pass up at center ice, poked ahead off the stick by Baldwin. And now back for Thompson. Thompson throws one up ahead for Grant. Grant tried to drop one. Back for Baldwin. Baldwin sends one in. He almost had that bobble off the pads of Gillis, but he'll hold on. 17 seconds to go in this first frame. 20-15, the shots on goal in favor of the Penguins. And that has them up by 1. Face-off one there and played back around. Daly will throw it back to his partner, and they'll let time run out here in the first period. A long pass down the ice out of the reach of Nick Goodwin. And that'll do it. Here for the first period of play, the East Hants Penguins lead the Antigonish Bulldogs 2-1. We thank you for tuning in to High Button Sports. My name's Dayton Camo. Stay tuned for the second period. But first, our first intermission. And our first intermission sponsor. Tonight's first intermission is brought to you by your local Guardian stores, proudly serving Elmsdale, Shubenacadie, and Stewiacke. welcome back to the East Hants Sportsplex for the second period of play between the visiting Antigonish Bulldogs and the East Hants Senior Penguins. The Penguins lead the Bulldogs 2-1 through 20 minutes of play. And we'll look to feed that scoreboard full of goals here in this second period. Riley Spears will work in on the draw here for the Penguins, and he wins it back for Thompson. Thompson plays one ahead. This icing is waved off, and now the Bulldogs will pick it up and go the other way. Out to center. This one's off a skate, pick back up. Now Spears trying to corral it and get things going the other way here for the Penguins. Back in his own end, slips one over to Pike, and Pike will go up the wall. Pike down in the corner. Gets out to the slot, poked ahead by Pike, up for Schufel. Trying to work his way in, a backhander off the pad of Samara. Now Brown working in, trying to find an option, throws one to the slot. It's taken away off the stick of Spears and out to center. That's Riley Spears up to Reagan Spears. Played back into Penguins territory. This one's up into the netting, so we'll get a quick stoppage of play here in the second frame. Face-off will head down to the right of Brian Gillis. Cody Grant on the draw for the for the Bulldogs against Riley Spears. This one's one to the half wall. Shot goes in, it's blocked and into the corner. Now Saunders plays one back around for Grant. Grant dropped it down for McPherson. This one goes back to the point. Saunders' shot was blocked on its way through. And now Daly picks one up. And cross ice go the Penguins. Picked up by McPherson and chipped ahead. Now Daly sends one off the skate. Moved ahead. And now back for Daly. Tried to send one across. And now Parker will play one up. Mikhail Parker. Now a pass ahead intended there. But it's taken away, and now a chance in front. Turnover, backdoor, they score! A chance in front, taken away, and put to the back of the net by Devin McLaughlin. So McLaughlin evening things up here in East Hants. Puck goes off the face, it looks like, of the linesman. Will take a second before he has to skate off. Took that one up high, so we'll take a second here. Looks like the puck caught the official up high. Little blood trail. Might have to finish this one off with just one linesman, or one of the stripes will take off the bands and do the lines work. Trying to scrape some of that ice up. We'll have to clean that ice up clean that blood up off the ice. We'll be right back on High Button Sports. We're going to take a break. So back to the action. One linesman, two referees. No blood scraped off the ice, so we'll get right back to it as Fougere sends it deep. Everyone here at High Button, our best wishes to the linesman that just took the puck up high. Hopefully he turns out all right. He's able to get looked at as he is right now by the first aids. And now a pass up for Kennedy. He finds Brown, he's working in, tries to drop it there for Kennedy. He goes back to the point, working in for Baldwin, he sends one down. Picked back up and sent deep. Baldwin stops back up at the point. This one's corralled by the Penguins. And Armstrong will try to flick one past a couple of defensemen. It's ruled a hand pass off the glove of Fougere, and we'll get a face-off. 16:26 left to go here in the second period. A 2-2 game thanks to the latest from Devin McLaughlin. Scullion and McPherson on the draw. And McPherson wins one ahead. Kelly flips one in, picked up by Thompson. And Pike will flow that one around all the way down the wall, and McDonald will have to pick it up in his own end. Now the Bulldogs trying to work it out to center. Poked ahead by Cody Grant, but Pike is on that one. Tried to lay it off the cage for Thompson, but it took a bounce. And now Pike trying to work one down, took a good hack there from McDonald. Pike sends one back door, and that one's just wide of the net. Now a chance ahead for Grant. Grant's working in all alone. His shot turned aside by Gillis, coming out to the top of the blue paint to close down that angle. That one sent 200 feet. So we will get a faceoff back down in the Penguin zone. Players unsure of which side. I'll wait for the linesman's decision. It is to the right of Gillis. Now Kennedy back to the point to Saunders. His shot goes through. It's turned aside by Gillis, and he'll hop on the rebound to make sure no danger lurks in front. 15:21 to go. Right now, over at the Grant Harvey Center, the Greenfoot Capitals lead the Western Flames 3-0. So catch all that action on High Button Sports YouTube and highbuttonsports.ca. Daryl Johnstone on the call for that one. Now a chance in front. Brown, his rebound is poked out to the slot. A long shot from Schufelt will go down the ice, and what a stop from Brian Gillis. Point blank. Aaron Brown winding up for the one-timer, the former Landworks goal. Now this line staying back out there for the Bulldogs, trying to get something going offensively. Spears, though, runs into Brown on the wall, and this one's reversed back up the far side. Spears throws one cross ice for Schufelt. Schufelt tried to poke it ahead. And now back to center ice. Mason over to Thompson. Tries to feed this one ahead and past a couple of bodies. Back to Thompson, working in. He scores! Will Thompson with the third goal for the Penguins. He walks in, rips one past the blocker of Justin Samara. And the Penguins have taken a 3-2 lead. And now they score. The Bulldogs working one quickly off the neutral zone draw down into the offensive zone, and Cody Grant finds himself on the right side of a loose puck in the slot. And just like that, we're all evened up at 3. Now working back in is Kelly. Sends one off the glove of Gillis. He'll have to cover up. So correction on that goal call. It was not Will Thompson. Ryan Daly picking up his third of the season for the Penguins. And that one just goes out of play. So Daly from Spears at 5:23, the official goal call on that third Penguins goal. Now Bryce Thompson on the draw for the Bulldogs, but he loses that one to Ralph. Now Noseworthy. He gets bumped and tries to play one back up the wall, taken away and played back in front. A backhander goes just wide of the net from McDougall. Now working this one in. Gillis tried to touch that one up with the end of his stick. Thompson corrals it now, plays it back. Now at neutral ice, taken away by Ralph. Now back up goes Hunter. Trying to get a quick shot off the pad, and that one goes right into the slot. It's cleared out of danger. And now they score! Pike leads the flyby. Looks like it hit something in front. Must have been a Bulldogs defenseman. And just like that, the back and forth period continues. It's 4-3 Penguins. Now the Penguins win the draw. Pike goes back across for Thompson. Now worked up by Holmes into neutral ice. Back to Pike. Now back out to the slot. It's picked up and sent to Thompson. He goes down low. Penguins starting the cycle. Worked out. That shot goes wide of the net. But picked up by Thompson. Poked off of his stick, and now away go the Bulldogs. Racing up for this one is Kennedy, the skipper. He'll drop this one for Aaron Brown. Brown tried to play it back to the point, out of the reach of any Bulldogs, and now with 2 away with numbers. Go the Penguins. This one's turned aside, but blocked in front, and that was turned aside by the glove of Justin Samara. A point-blank opportunity. And we'll get a face-off to the right of the Bulldogs goaltender. Now working that one ahead was Daly. Now picked up by Nick Goodwin, the Digby boy. Played for the Valley his whole career. A strong product of that Valley contingent down there in the Berwick area. Now back to the point. Baldwin collects it and sends it down low for Grant. Grant gets the return feed back. And a long shot in from McDougall goes wide of the net off a glove. And now a stretch pass taken away. Back on it at center was Shepard. Now it's at the line. They just call that offside. So a face-off coming with 11:15 to go. 25-20, your shots on net. Spears with Schufelt and Spears. Reagan and Riley, the two Spears on this Penguins team. Both are Spears, so no point in putting our Spears on the back of the jersey. This one gets back to the point. Fougere couldn't corral that one, and now Spears is away. Regan Spears looking for the toe drag, and that one's taken away. Gillis will glove this one up, send it around the wall. Schuvelt waiting for that pass. And now sent back in front. The backhander turned aside by Gillis with the glove. Thompson was looking to turn and fire, but Brian Gillis standing tall to the task. Riley Spears working back in on the draw. He'll win this one, but it's in possession now of Aaron Brown. Brown trying to spin off his check. Down to Kennedy. Gets it back over to Brown, and Brown goes in front, taken away by Thompson. Now the former Husky will play it up. And across for Saunders. Now the Bulldogs give that one away. Thompson tried to play that one across. It's offside at the line. And we'll get a face-off just about the midway point of this second period. It's been filled with goals. 2-2 for each team. Both teams with a couple here in this second period. Now Pike will send one in. Mikhail Parker on the chase. Played around. Now back to the point to Thompson. He'll send one through. Tipped on. Samara's got it, and he'll give Noseworthy a little swing. And Noseworthy's in there looking for some trouble. Tyler Noseworthy in there making plans for after the game. Noseworthy and Blunden look like they'll both pick up a penalty on that one. We'll look for the referee's signal. If it stays 4-on-4, or will be 5-on-5. Bulldogs with 5 out there, and now On comes the 5th Penguin, so we will be at even strength, 5 apiece. No, they will. 4-on-4 is the call here as both players get sent back off the ice. So Ralph will work in on the draw here with Aaron Brown. Back to the point. Thompson will play this one in. 4-on-4. Lots of extra room over here for those skilled skaters. Now Thompson plays one back to the point and goes back down to Ralph. Back into Thompson. He was looking for him in that bumper spot to let go, but just couldn't get enough space to release that shot. McDougall works it up for Kennedy. Drop back for Brown. Parker was trying to get all over that loose puck and spring himself. Now a chance in front. The Bulldogs poke it home. Aaron Brown gets the Bulldogs back even. Former Landworks Gull, former Halifax Mac. He was all over the Ocean Playground growing up, and here he is tying things up. Now teams still at 4-on-4 as Daly drops one back. Cross ice for Spears. Regan Spears driving in on the backhand. He'll flip one on. That one's turned aside by Samara, and he'll cover up. 8:58 to go, just over halfway through this second frame. And folks, just remember to scan the QR code on your screen if you want to pick up some 50-50 tickets. Sitting at $1,330, $1,330. The draw will go on until the first of the third period. Now working in McPherson, trying to go backdoor for Fougere, but a little too far out of his reach. And now a chance away. Schufelt trying to wait for Spears. Spears corrals that one and fires on. It's blocked by the glove of Samara. Now back ahead. McPherson laid one into the slot, but away go the Penguins. It's Daly trying to find a man in front. Good stick by Kelly to break that one up. Now Holmes through center. Stops up. Back to the point. Hunter's shot goes in. It's bobbled by Samara. And with teams back to even strength, we'll get a face-off down in the Bulldog zone. Lots of kids enjoying the game here on minor hockey night as we get back into the Bulldog zone for the face-off. Holmes wins it back. A shot goes in. That's gloved up by Samara, and will hold on for another draw. Holmes and Kennedy on the draw one more time. This one is won by Kennedy. Back to Blunden. He'll play it around, and Saunders pokes one up the wall. Can't get any further as Rude will play it back down in. Now Holmes behind the net trying to center one out front for Rude, but Justin Samara covering that one up once again. Justin Samara, my former teammate on the HOA Atlantic Aces, took a trip across the pond to Europe, played a exhibition series. We thought we were playing a team of 18-year-olds, and midway through the second period, Samara came back into the room and said, "This is the Innsbruck Junior Hay." So that's a story there for the record books. This one's played back down in to the Bulldogs zone. Hunter throws one in. It's blocked in front. I don't know if it made its way to the net or if that was blocked away by Samara. But now Kennedy working in, tried to drop one off for Brown. Kennedy and Brown with a little connection here so far tonight. Brown works one and it's off the glove. Tried to sneak one past the ear of Gillis, and that one will knock the moorings, or the net, off its moorings. Bringing a face-off. Noseworthy, Ralph back out there. Noseworthy will take the draw against Grant. Mikhail Parker, the other forward out there for the Penguins, but this one's kept at the line, held by Baldwin, and he'll send one back down in. McPherson racing on, but Gillis elected to play it out. Now Parker up through center. That one's taken away. And just offside as McPherson skates in over the line. Grant had that one over on the far side. Unable to drag his leg long enough was McPherson. So McPherson back on the draw against Scullion. They've seen each other at the dot plenty of times tonight. Scullion winning that one once again. Now Pike. Cross, ice pass off the shin pad, a stinger. That one off the back of the pads. Little friendly fire there from Tyler Pike. Now Kelly. He'll start from his own zone, plays a backhander up the wall for Kayla McPherson. The former Weeks Crusher. As you see the stickers on the side of his helmet. Now working back in are the Penguins. Scullion and Goodwin. Scullion sends a big hit down there in the corner. Now working in are the Bulldogs. A shot goes in. That's gloved by Gillis, and he'll hold on with some fisticuffs behind the play. Now we'll get a penalty coming. We'll see who takes this one. We've got a bucket off down in the corner as well. Looks like it's the helmet of Marc Fougere. So it looks like they'll take two. Wait for Fougere to get his bucket. Doesn't look like Fougere is getting one, so the Penguins will be short-handed coming up. So this is the CIBC Tom Hunter Group penalty kill, and now the Penguins working away with a shorthanded breakaway, and that one turned aside by Samara. So a great chance there off the breakaway, shorthanded. This face-off, one back. Cody Grant now. Plays it back down behind the net. Into the slot right in front of Samara. A little risky play there by the Bulldogs. And this one works its way back around to McDougall. Cody Grant awaiting that long stretch pass. But Mason able to hold that one and pinch at the red line, taking that away. Now Mason working his way back in. He'll stop up, float one down into the corner. Now a pass ahead. Worked up for Brown to Kennedy. He tried to go back down for Brown, and that one's taken away at the blue line. Kennedy back on it, though. Holmes has it down there in the corner. Brown working in with Thompson and Grant. Holmes tried to play one back now to the point. McDougall goes back down for Brown. Back out. Kennedy. Blocker saved by Gillis. He's got a couple of men all over him, and now it's back out to the point for Kennedy. He and Holmes will say hello to each other here at the near side as this one's played down for McDougall. Samara checks the clock and heads back to the blue paint. Now up ahead go the Bulldogs. It's worked into the offensive zone, sent back to the point. Cross ice for Blunden. Now worked up. Riley Spears working this one ahead. Little move through the legs. He's turned aside, and this one's thrown on for Samara to handle. And now cross ice for Blunden. In his feet. Couldn't find that one. It's a high riser out to center. Now Blunden. Goes back down. Chance for Spears in front. That one goes high and wide over the net. Spears with a great chance to put the Penguins back ahead. Now Schufeld trying to break away from pressure. It's turned over, and now McPherson working back in. McPherson down low. McIsaac will spin, and that one's turned aside. Backhander goes right in front of your camera, right into your living room, and McDonald will go back for it. Chipped up ahead. Brown, cross ice for Kennedy. Works in, shot over the net. That one was labeled for the top corner, just a little too high and wide. Now working in, Schufeld tried to lay one across. And now that pile of snow at the blue line helping to negate that icing call. Now another icing call. Called off, picked up by Scully, and he'll make another escape turn and play one across the blue line to Pike. That shot is turned aside by Samara. Scully and putting everyone in a blender there at the blue line. So with 1:53 left to go here in the second period, we'll get an offensive zone draw for the Penguins. Fougere plays that one around. It's picked up at the line. Noseworthy able to keep it in. Now Ralph has a man calling for it at the point. That's Pike. He goes cross ice. Shot goes in. That one's turned aside. Now picking this one up and working it ahead into the corner. Bowie is on that one. Plays it back down deep. McPherson out front. Or Thompson, excuse me. Now back up for the Penguins. It's Noseworthy. He'll send a shot through. That one's turned aside. And now Ralph in the corner. Back through, Ralph. Down low to the point. Mason, his shot turned aside off the blocker. And now the final 60 here in the second. Played ahead to Grant. Big hit right in front of us. Mason and Grant running into each other. Now Thompson. He collects behind his own net. Thompson goes up the near side wall to Rude. And now Saunders, cross ice. That one's off the skate of Cody Grant. And he pokes that one further ahead. Now into Penguins' possession. It's Daly. He'll get stripped at the blue line, and now Grant working back in. Grant trying to feather one in. It's turned aside and back into the corner. McDougall plays one up the wall. And that'll do it there for the second period of play. We'll get you set after the intermission for the Elmsdale Lumber Company third period of play. Dayton Camo welcoming you back on High Button Sports for the Elmsdale Lumber Company third period of play. It's a tie game, 4-4 the score through 40 minutes. Justin Samara and Brian Gillis tending the creases at both ends of the ice. We'll see who stands victorious at the end of this period. The East Hants Penguins trying to stay undefeated here at home and stay atop of this Northumberland division. The referees down there having a conversation near the 4x6 of Justin Samara. Looks like they're fixing up the twine on the net. And they say it's good to go. Samara and Gillis at both ends of the ice, and Ralph will work his way in on the draw here for the Penguins, but it's the Bulldogs with possession off the draw. Saunders tries to play one ahead. It's knocked back down into the corner. Blunden now stops up, reverses up the wall. It's Regan Spears. He'll play that one into traffic. And this one slapped all the way down the ice. And that's an icing call on the play. So 19:39, just 21 seconds into this fresh third period. A tie game. And we'll see who can break the ice first here in this final frame. This face-off's won by Spears, and now a chance in front. Thompson now, he rips one just over the blocker of Samara. This one's down the ice for Pike. And now Thompson in a battle behind the net, scoots over to Pike. And now he'll give chase back to the point for Saunders. Shot goes through, that's turned aside by the pad of Gillis. And now out to center. Saunders will corral that one, sending it all the way back down. Brown let it go, and now it's back down behind the net. Thompson will pick it up for the Penguins and hits Spears with the breakout pass. Regan Spears working in. His shot goes up over the netting, or up over the net into the netting. And we will get a face-off here with 18:47 left to go. 37-27 the shots on net, so the Penguins leading the shot department by a 10-point margin. And Holmes will win that draw, but it's in the possession of Kayla McPherson now. He goes cross ice and gets dumped by Daly. Daly coming back and saying hello to Kayla McPherson. Oh, heavy shoulder there from Daly down there in the corner. And now we'll go back to the left of Brian Gillis for this defensive zone draw for the Penguins. This one's chipped to the line. Now a chance away. They got numbers. Drop back for Holmes. Holmes working in. Kicks it back door, and Samara able to get in there with the poke check, but a penalty coming. A high stick on the call going to Luke Baldwin. And that'll bring us to the Penn Hills power play. A power play goal will give a season ticket holder a pair of green fees for the upcoming season. Now the face-off is won back on this power play. This one sent down the ice. And Gillis elects to start the breakout a little quickly up to Regan Spears, but that one's taken away. But Spears back on it, driving this one into the offensive zone. Thompson lets this one bobble by him. It's played across for Pike. Schufelt. Across for Thompson. His shot thrown towards the net. Into the corner. Now it's Kelly. He'll play it down the ice. And Gillis out to play it one more time. If you're looking for an out-of-town scoreboard right now, the Finns have just tied their quarterfinal against the USA with just over 8 to go in the third. As Spears walks it back in. Thompson. To Ralph in the bumper. Thompson spins back down low. Now Ralph. Cross ice for Spears. Picks it up on the backhand. Now Thompson sends a one-timer through. Blocked in front by Grant. That's a stinger. Now cross ice. This one just bumps over the stick of Schufelt. Unable to keep that at the line was Thompson, and now the Penguins will have to reset with 20 to go here on this man advantage. Now a quick pass up. That was Parker working through. He just had that one bobble off his stick. Mikhail Parker, the Hants County native. Now this one's back up the ice. It's both teams even strength. McDougall sends his man to the ice. That was Shafford. And now poked ahead. Tried to go through the legs there, and now Daly. Call me a shot blocker. The best shot blocker in the Nova Scotia Senior Hockey League, Dayton Camone, getting in front of that one. If either of the goalies need a backup tonight, I'm here. Now Shafford. Up ahead. Blunden throws that one back across. Up ahead, another one coming towards. And now it's chipped ahead by Blunden again. Shafford now. Cross ice. Picked up by Scullion. Now Kennedy works in, tried to work it around his man. Saunders will play it deep. Offside's the call. The referee, second referee, giving a couple offsides tonight with that linesman injury that we had earlier in the second period. So nice to see that the referee taking some extra duties into his own hands. And now this puck goes up into the netting below the scaffolding under us, and we'll get a face-off back down in the Bulldog zone. So another out-of-town scoreboard. The Finns have just taken the lead 3-2 over the Americans. Parker now working into Goodwin. And now back goes McIsaac. He's got speed down the left-hand side. Now this one's played back down the length of the ice. Samara out to play it. The young guns out there for the Penguins now. Spears, Goodwin, and Mikhail Parker. And that shot goes high over the netting as McIsaac sends one up over the glass. It's 14:23 left to go in the third period. And a 4-4 tie. McPherson will work back in on the draw for the Bulldogs. Ralph will do the same for the Penguins. Oh, line change coming up here for the Penguins. Not a line change, just Spears hopping back onto the ice. And Schufelt will hop on along with them, so the Pens will get their 5 skaters back out onto the ice. Now working into the slot is Grant. His shot was turned aside. Dragon and fire that one off the toe drag. And now off that draw, it's the Penguins away. Schufelt trying to work his way through a couple of defensemen. Now Thompson working in. He throws a backhander into the slot area, but now away goes Cody Grant. Grant has 1 goal earlier in this game. And now a bobbled puck by Gillis sent back into the corner. He's able to get back to the blue paint in time, and now Spears. Picked up by Baldwin now. He'll corral this one down low for the Bulldogs and go cross ice. And now it's centered in front. That one intended backdoor for Wenzel, but Justin Samara will glove it up for the face-off. Face-off won by the Pens. It's Holmes trying to find a man out front. Wenzel was lurking, and now Daly. He'll corral and shoot that one from the point. Just goes wide. And now Brown gets possession on the near side. Throws it back down deep to the point. Blunden, his shot couldn't get by. And now working out was Rude. That one taken away and thrown back to the point. Holmes working in. He's taken down. The referee's got that one. And they score! Second of the game for Alex Rude. They put the Pens up 5-4. He finds the hole through the leg of Justin Samara. And with 12:31 to go, the Pens have restored their lead. And just like that, folks, what a game, what a night of hockey. The Americans have just tied the game on home ice. 1:33 to go, and now a big scrum along the far side. Armstrong now works in, his shot goes wide. Now Hunter, cross ice for Armstrong. Armstrong picks it up, he's bumped off the puck. And now McLaughlin will send one the length of the ice. And that'll be an icing call. We'll go back down 200 feet to the Bulldog zone. McLaughlin and Scullion saying hello to each other there as Scullion works in for the draw. Ralph. Has that draw. One back to Thompson. And now Thompson. Working this one up is Schufelt. Now he goes glove save by Samara. Schufelt had that one labeled for the first, or for the top corner. Schufelt was flying in, ripped one. He had some speed going through the neutral zone. Schufelt back on the draw against Galen McPherson. Schufelt wins that one, and now McDougall will pick it up for the Bulldogs. He thought about going off the glass, and I really hoped he wouldn't, because now every puck that comes this way, I get a little scared. But that one's worked offside, and we'll get a face-off. 11:25 to go. McPherson and Spears on the draw. McPherson wins it back. And now Baldwin goes back for McDougall. He goes up to the blue line and in. Grant tried to receive that one with the extra blade. That's the skate blade. Couldn't go. And now back around the wall. It's chipped ahead. Goodwin. Nick Goodwin working down in. He fan on that one. Finds a man back door, and that's out of the reach of Will Thompson. Now out front, this one's put past the stick of Riley Spears. Now Spears giving chase back down on McPherson as he tries to throw one on net. And that's covered up by Brian Gillis. 10:44 to go here in the third period. Now thrown around the wall. Holmes works in, drops for Rude, looking for the hat trick, and that one's turned aside by Samara. Now Wenzel driving down the near side wall. It's put back up the wall for Brown now. Throws it to center. Kennedy will corral it. He'll send one on, blockered off the side of Gillis. And now Saunders plays it back down deep. Kennedy trying to work one back out to the point. It's picked up by Daly. He'll get the red line and send it deep. Now working back up is Saunders. Corralling that one is Kennedy, putting it ahead. That shot ripped high and wide over the net as Fougere sends it back around. Fougere pinched up and poked that one back ahead. Now a long stretch pass up ahead intended for Schufelt, or Shatford, excuse me, and that one's out of his reach. Now Scullion plays it back down low. Back to the point, a slap shot was fanned on and now sent back to the point. Armstrong sends one through, blocker to side by Samara, and now it's back to the point. Hunter sends one through. Now this one gets to the line. Baker will send it back down into the corner. Scullion picks it up. Tried to go cross ice, taken away. And now McIsaac sends one through. Spears. Backhanded up for Schufelt. And down deep they go. Thompson now try to corral that one now. Breakaway for Kelly. And the rebound turned aside by Gillis. Cody Grant was working in as well. And that'll bring us to the timeout, halfway point of the period. So we'll take a break here on High Button Sports. Stay tuned. 8:11 left to go here in the third period. And the draw coming to the right of Brian Gillis. A 5-4 Penguin lead. Pike trying to corral that one in his defensive zone. He's got a man all over him. Now back to the point. Spears poked that one further. And now Aaron Brown goes up through center, taken away, and now Kennedy will have it off of his stick. He pokes it a little bit further. Brown picks it up. Kennedy's driving back door. And that one's turned aside. A good block defensively there by Pike. Now McDougall, he sends one through. It's covered up by Gillis. And that'll be the 31st registered shot on net for the Bulldogs. It's 41-31, the shots on goal in favor of the Penguins. So the Penguins still leading that department by a 10-shot margin. But now back on the face-off. Holmes wins that one cleanly past McPherson. Now Daly rims it back up around the wall for Wenzel. Had that one bounce off his stick, and now Kelly giving chase. And now up to Rude. Rude corrals it, looking for his third of the game. And now Holmes on the half wall, sends it back down low. Wenzel starts the cycle, gets the return feed back on the half wall. Now Rude finds a stick in front, just the wrong team, and now Holmes trying to work back in and cause a disturbance. And Saunders will try to send a stretch pass up, but it's bobbled, and he'll take a second look. Daly drops it back behind the net. This one's caught on top of the 4x6 once again. And now a loose puck in front. That one was played off a skate. And now past Fougere and back down the length of the ice. So an icing call coming, 6:12 to go. A one-goal game here at the Igloo in East Hants. Now Mason trying to play one up to center ice. He does. Penguins work in. The Bulldogs bench says it's offside. Now back to the point, kept in by Daly. Down low. Pass in front, taken away. Fougere's got no stick. It's broken in front, but he's able to kick one to the point to Brown, but not out. Daly has Brown all over him, and now McDonald will be able to corral this one for a second. And as the Penguins touch up, Luke Baldwin will go through middle. Finding the stick of Hunter, turned away onto the stick of Kennedy. And now the shot goes upstairs, but Brian Gillis saving one more. And folks, if you aren't tuning in, you tuned into this one. The USA has just lost in the quarterfinals on home soil to the Finns. So the Finns have spoiled the party. We'll get a little extracurriculars down in the Penguin zone as Justin Samara picks up the broken stick down in his own end. The referee will collect that one, pick it up. Now back up after a big hit in the offensive zone. McIsaac was down there with Baker tied up. Armstrong will pick it back up in the defensive zone. Armstrong again, backhands one up the wall. McDougall racing in with a big bump. Now Hunter gets this one behind his net, plays it up the wall. Chipped ahead. And now Scullion works in, that shot goes wide. Now Baker plays it back through, Samara taken out in front. And now Baldwin will get after it. McDougall says hello. And they'll see who took Samara out in front of the net. Looks like it might have been Baker, as he's receiving a lot of attention. Good play from Regan Spears to help the Bulldogs trainer out onto the ice. Samara might have been looking to draw one. But now this goes the other way as McDougall takes the only call. And now we'll get some extracurriculars over at the bench. That little piece of fiberglass or plexiglass separating these two teams. And you hear the big chants from the crowd after the PA announcer announces the USA defeat. And the puck has just dropped at Marucci Arena for the last game of the night, the nightcap. The quarterfinal between Canada and Slovakia. Teams will reseed after the quarterfinals, and now a wrench thrown into things with the Americans not in it. If the Americans would have won, if all top teams would have won, it would have been Canada, USA, Sweden, Czechia, just like it was in Halifax in the semis. But now with the Americans out, things will be thrown back into the mixer. Back to East Hants we go now as Regan Spears and Brad Kennedy have some words for each other. A couple of captains have a chat at center ice. Spears will go back down and set up for this draw. While Blunden has a conversation with the two referees out at center ice. Schufelt now as well will join in and see what the call is. As we get set for a Penn Hills power play, a power play goal from the Penguins will give a pair of green fees to a season ticket holder. Now the face-off coming back to the right of Samara after that extended break. So, excuse me, folks, no power play His team's at even strength 5-on-5 here. Regan Spears will play one cross ice. Shot goes in, turned aside by Samara. The rebound stays there. Blocker saved by Samara. Again, he lays down, he's on it, and the whistle goes. Good job by Samara to cover up and make sure this one stays a one-goal game. 4:06 left up on the clock. Almost a full house here tonight at the East End Sportsplex in Lance. McPherson and Ralph on the draw. To the right of Justin Samara. It's one by Ralph. Schufelt will send a quick shot off the draw. And now this one's tipped into the Penguins bench. Heads up over there. So now Ralph will work in back on the draw with McPherson, this time outside the Bulldogs zone. Poked ahead by Ralph. He tried to get it past a couple of Bulldogs defensemen, and now racing in is Schufelt. Backhands one in front. Ralph down low, turned aside by the pad of Samara. And now a quick pass ahead. This one intended for Grant. Gillis is on it, and he'll send a long pass out for Schufelt. Now Fougere. Cross ice for Kelly. He'll leave it there for Grant. Now Kelly will play it back down in. Schufelt taking a bump. And now Spears lets that one go. Spears had to wait for his man to touch up. That was Schufelt. Now he heads off for a change. As Mason sends a long floater into the Bulldog zone. They'll call it an icing. And we'll head back 200 feet. .185 seconds left on the clock. 44-32, the shots on goal as Aaron Brown gives a little push off the face-off. Face-off one back by Brown. It's saved by Gillis as Spears says hello to Brown and sends him to the ice. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like he might have bumped his head off the ice on the way down. Now the Bulldogs trainer making his way back out onto the ice. So Brown still down in the offensive zone. Looks like he'll make his way back to his feet under his own power and with a little bit of help from the trainer. Kalen McPherson coming out to take the draw in place of number 91 as Aaron Brown heads back down to the dressing room. Face-off is won and sent down the ice. Rude giving chase now. He's met down there with a couple of cross checks from Saunders and a penalty coming now. So Saunders with a 2, flips the stick out of the box, and now receives a 10. He'll make his way across the ice. And the stick will be put into the other penalty box just for safe measure. And now Bowie will serve his penalty. That brings us to another Penn Hills power play. A Penguins goal on the power play will give a pair of season ticket holders a couple of green fees for the upcoming season. This one's sent in and sent right back out to the line. 2:30 to go here on the clock in this third period. The Penguins trying to extend their lead to 2 and get some insurance. Now Ralph working up through center. It's taken away. Now Thompson, he's working back down in, takes a bump from Spears. Now working in his Fougere. He takes a bump. Now Thompson works his way up, spins back, and he'll hold on. Takes it all the way behind his own net. Now Thompson spins back, drops it, and gets the return feed. Now Ralph working that one through middle. Sent down around the net. Riley Spears now. Cross ice. Now a shot goes in. That's turned aside by Samara one more time as he'll hold on. So the face-off coming back down to the right of Justin Samara. Scullion and McPherson. This one's won by McPherson to the half wall, but in Penguins' possession now. Spears pinches in on the near side. Keeps that one alive. Scullion will come in to help out as Spears gets set to the ice. Now back to the point. It's kept in by Daly. And now a chance in front, taken away by McDougall. He goes down to Kennedy. Kennedy's in shorthanded, trying to make something out of nothing. And Daly will send one around the ice. 45 to go. And now a chance in front, bobbled by Gillis, and that one sent wide of the net. Up the wall they go. Scullion, he's bumped there, and now Blunden will pick it up. 30. Back to Baldwin. Baldwin goes up to Thompson. Cross ice. Samara to the bench. The extra attacker out here for the Bulldogs as they work in, and that one's worked wide of the net. Gillis was bumped in front. And now this one's worked to the near side. Kept in at the line. Bobbled in front. And that will do it. Here from Minor Hockey Night on East Hants. The East Hants Senior Penguins will reign victorious over the Antigonish Bulldogs by a score of 5-4. Dayton Camo and Matthew Dudelet here for High Button Sports tonight, saying thank you, and we'll see you next time.